Hey gang, John and Michelle here, back at you. Been a while since we did a video. Haven't had much of any interest really to put out. That's probably more than likely the reason. But yeah, we're over here in back in the Philippines, Walmart City. Uh, Arrived here last month, November 13th, and just sitting here enjoying some Mr. Chips. These are pretty good. Yeah, we arrived here, like I say, about a month ago, and we decided to invest in a long-term apartment here instead of coming here every year for about a month and going back. This is our 11th trip over here. We figured just rent a small apartment, long-term, just pay it. So here in Ormoc City, Leyte, a non-tourist destination type island. It's very nice, small, has a couple malls, traffic is not that bad. Really nice, quiet. We're in our apartment now. We just purchased. There's Michelle, the Filipino wife. Yo, Michelle, what's up?
I'm going to wash clothes.
Gonna wash clothes. We just got our apartment all set up with new furnishings, a nice 55-inch TV, smart TV for the entertainment factor, and a new fridge, and a oven. Usual things you need in an apartment. This is a nice apartment. I mean, we're really lucky to get it. Very clean, very nice. Has a dirty kitchen outside. 2 bedrooms. This is ours, and there's a small bedroom just over there. Conditioning and everything. Yeah, the rent's pretty reasonable. About let me get this white haze out of the way. All these curtains here. Yeah, the rent's about what is it, $254 a month. That's with free Wi-Fi, and it's really good Wi-Fi. Works really good. Pay our own electric, and the water's like 300 pesos a month, about $5 or $6. So, to rent it long term, even when we're not here, all secure with our items, it's a lot better than coming here every 11 months and facing the reality of, staying in a hotel. These hotels, man, I don't know what happened, but, the outside and the lobbies look so grandeur and so nice, and then when you, get upstairs to the room, it's like, oh, Jesus, it's all, outdated and gloomy. Bed's okay, linen's okay, pillows okay, but sometimes the fixtures are broken in the bathroom, and the CR they call it here, and they don't have smart TV. They have the old-fashioned 20-year-old flat screen that has 20-year-old episodes of Animal Planet and stuff. Really boring, So we said, for $50, 46, $48 a week for an hotel to stay here a month, that's about over $1,400. I'll just rent a place, It's our own little place. It's kind of nice, like a little castle. I bought a scooter. I bought a Suzuki Bergman 125. I got a deal on it. It was brand new from a dealer called Motor Trade. What's good about Motor Trade, they sell a bunch of different models, not just Suzuki or Honda or Kawasaki. They sell like a multitude of different models that they pick up. Kind of like a wholesale deal, Brand new bikes, got the 3 years and the 1 year warranty and the 3 and 3 on the registration and the insurance. So I'm waiting on my permanent tag. I got my temporary out there. Waiting on my permanent tag. Should be in pretty soon. I also bought a Suzuki van, a little, they call them multi-cab, little, I guess you could say it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, like a 6-passenger little minivan. They originate from Japan. They get them over here, import them over, and then they reassemble them, do the upholstery, and paint them. They change the steering wheel, the steering column from right-hand drive over to left-hand drive. They utilize some of the Mazda parts to do that. So it's pretty unique how they get that to work, you know. But we bought a real nice one. It's got nice white and aluminum mag wheels, white tires. It's white and black. It's some nice interior. They use a nice thick vinyl here, real heavy duty vinyl. You can really see it lasting about 10, 15, 20 years, you know. The AC works good. Radio only catches 1 or 2 channels, but it's all in Filipino language, you know, Cebuano or Tagalog. So, you know, I could buy a little CD player, boombox, and just throw it in the car when I'm going places, you know. But it's really nice. It works well. We took it on an hour and a half ride the other day to a wedding we attended on some bumpy roads, and it got dirty, so we had to have it cleaned at the car wash with a power washer. But when we got back, but yeah, it worked real nice. Really happy with it. If you're planning on coming over, some of you guys, you know, to see the new gal, the lovely one, dream girl, you want to stay here, you can pick up one of these multi-cabs in either Cebu or here in Omoc City. I guess Davao has a few. They have them all over the place. They look pretty good. They look almost like brand new. Might have a couple small shortcomings, you know, as far as cosmetics and stuff, but in general, they look pretty nice. And you can get one for about anywhere from like $5 to $6 grand in good running order with a 1-month guarantee. You know, anything breaks or it's messed up, they fix it. Then after that, you know, you're on your own. But that's not a bad little warranty. A lot of places in the States, when you buy a car, it's as is, where is, don't call me back, you know. So you got 30 days to get things repaired if something, you know, is not working right. But they come with nice tires and everything. Yeah, this hotel is really great, like I was saying earlier. And you know, if you want to spend a lot of money or you have a big pension, no problem, you know. Come on over to the Philippines. But some of the metro areas like Manila and Cebu and Davao, they're very expensive lately. Everything has gone up. I mean, the inflation has been unreal. We started venturing out to the Philippines when I met my wife about 14 years ago. And it was nice. It was like, wow. Although I wasn't old enough to retire from my civilian job in America, I was starting to think about it, you know. And the hotels are like $23 to $30 a night. Nice hotel with breakfast, you know. The little tricycle, tuk-tuk type tricycles and stuff, the little rides that get you from point A to point B to like 50, 60 pesos, you know, $1 to go like, you know, 5, 6, 7 city blocks, $1. You know, it was really nice. The food was not too bad, but today, I'll tell you, if you don't have a pension, fellas, of at least $2,200 a month, that's being fair. You know, let's say $2,000 a month, but just by yourself, the lone wolf. Not with your girlfriend, feeding her every day, let her eat all pizza and hollow shakes, and, you know, a nice watermelon shake here, or a mango shake. They're like 140 pesos, about $2.30, just for a drink. You got to support somebody else. There you go. Now it's like $5 for just the drinks. You got to think, you know, if you want to cohabitate with a young lady over here in the Philippines, you're gonna really easily 2025, you're gonna need at least 2,200. And that's living like, okay, paying the rent for the apartment, paying the electric when it comes in, paying your cell phone or her cell phone, you know, maybe scrounging a little bit from your income tax refund to buy a TV when you get there for the apartment, and a table and chairs to eat on, you know, maybe a hot plate to cook things on. We're gonna need to get set up. And I'll tell you right now, to get set up, that's where the money comes in. That setting up takes cash, Uh, Currently, I just did that like in the last 3 weeks. So if you want a real-time estimate, and if you see the apartment, it's got, we bought linen for the beds, pillowcases, a new fridge, nice oven, hot plate, double hot plate, nice furniture. I'm sitting on a nice recliner that I keep covered, nice gray one, nice recliner like back at home. Every retired man needs his recliner, the golden years, right, fellas? But anyways, a nice place like this in a small, tourist attracted area, away from the high life, away from the, go-go bars and all that stuff on P. Burgo Street, Makati, or up there in Clark, there, Angeles City, over there in Davao, the Turnpike, all those places that people like to go because of all the nightlife and stuff, and all the girly girls living in places like that. They see you coming, man. You're gonna pay money. You're gonna pay $500-600 a month for a little small place, a studio type thing. But if you break away from those places, I'm talking like 15-20 minutes away, maybe 15. They call it the province, out in the outskirts, you can get a place substantially cheaper, like half the price. Like I said earlier, I'm paying $254, the current exchange rate. I'm paying about $253, $255 a month for a nice clean place off the beaten trail. There's no discos down the road. There's no live bands. They do have entertainment and little pubs and stuff, on a Friday, Saturday night. There's a couple places, but, to sit there and have a beer at my age, I'd rather sit here and have a whiskey, Coke, and watch my 55-inch TV. I got my beautiful wife. What else do I need? You know what I mean? But for all you single guys that want to make the move, keep in mind, setting up an apartment is going to cost you. It's going to set you back at least, depending if you like a nice refrigerator like this one here, dual doors, got a little tiny dormitory refrigerator, sitting on top of the counter, taking up all your counter space. Instead of a 55-inch TV, you're okay with a 23-inch TV. Well, if you want to live like that, then you're still going to need about some bed sheets. Maybe the beds don't have mattresses. These did. I'm lucky on that. Gonna need a fan to circulate some air, maybe 2 fans. If the AC ever goes off, have what they call power outages, like brownouts. You're gonna need a couple fans to, similar to these here, to circulate the air while you're waiting for the electric to come back on, Yeah, definitely you're gonna need, you're gonna need about a couple thousand, man. 1,800 to set up, Single studio. Now, if it comes, live-in ready with cups and spoons and plates and pots and pans and all that stuff, well then, that's your savings, But if you want to start fresh with a nice, clean, brand new place with new paint, nice and clean, the walls are nice, no chips, no scrapes, no mold, things like that, then you have to pay the rent, But I figure single guy, studio type apartment or 1-bedroom, probably average about $350 to $450 a month in a, again, non-metro nightlife type, you know, area, you know, tourist attracted type area. Stay away from them if you want to live. That you can make your home base about 15 minutes from those places, and you'll be all set, you know. It'll be at to your advantage, you know, monetary wise. Eating out in these restaurants, fellas, take heed, man. Take heed to what the old man's putting out. I don't know if you like getting sick. I don't know if you like shitting your intestines out for 3-4 days in a row. Having fever on your lower back doesn't want to go away for like a couple days, 3 days. What am I talking about? I'm talking about bad food, bad water. These restaurants, they look so grandeur when you walk in. Ooh, what a restaurant. So beautiful. Ooh, nice big heavy solid wood chairs. Ooh, nice long tables. Got a fan overhead circulating the air. Oh, if it's an outdoor place, you know. You know, with like a gazebo type outdoor thing, or sometimes they have the air conditioned, you know, ones you can go into. Beautiful glass all the way around. Looks beautiful, you know. Well lit and all that. The server looks clean and his uniform's crisp. And then you get sick from the shitty food, you know. So, best thing is to, if you hook up with a Filipina gal, make sure your mother taught her how to cook, and she can, you know, you can go to the grocery store together, buy some things, and put some things together at the house, you know. It really is the best thing to do. You save money, and you know what you're eating. You're preparing it yourself. You're not, you know, wiping the counter with a rag and then drying your hands off, or wiping the inside of the frying pan before you use it with the same rag. And that's some of the practices I know they're probably doing in these restaurants, you know. So there's no inspectors like in the States or UK or Europe, or I'm sure they have all these inspectors that come by and give you a rating, you know, a rating of you know, cleanliness, 97 and above. Up in the States, over in the States, used to be pretty nice. If a restaurant had like, you know, 97 and above, they were doing their best to keep it clean, you know. But they don't have that system in place here, so, you know, you'll get sick. Oh yeah, within 3 to 4 weeks you'll get sick, and then you'll understand what I'm saying. Now, if any of you guys are from the VA, have VA benefits, before you leave for the Philippines, you can go to your VA hospital and ask them for some, go to the disease prevention office within the VA. I'm sure every VA hospital has one. Make an appointment. Tell them you're going to be spending some time in Southeast Asia. Tell them what area you're going to be at, and they'll look up on a special map. They have a special computerized map. It tells you where the hot spots are for certain ailments that are going on, like malaria, Palawan. It's got a lot of malaria going on right now in that region of the Philippines, you know. You might want to have them give you a prescription of malaria pills, like a series, you know. It's like 3 before you leave. You take them while you're there, and you take 3 after you come back, just to make sure, you know. It's a preventive measure, you know. It's not really a medication you take once you get it. It's a preventive thing, you know. Then they have, you know, like I say, the diarrhea problem from the food and dirty water, or no, I wouldn't say it's dirty like looking. It's just not potable water that we're used to drinking. It's hard water. So what happens is your stomach can't handle the reaction initially, and what happens, you get sick, you know. They sell a pill for the VA can prescribe a pill for that. They'll give you like, you know, 8 of them, 9 of them, depending how long you're going to be here, you know. Then they have another one that goes along with it, like an antibiotic that helps with the diarrhea and the bad stomach, the bad gut, you know. So if you get both of those and the malaria pills, you're good to go, you know. You'll be covered. But if you're going to get here and say, I don't need that shit, my stomach is strong as an ox, all right, whatever. When you're down on your knees praying to God on the ceramic bus, you're going to remember me. And you remember this video, and you're going to say, yeah, man, never again. I want to come prepared next time. Because, you know, don't forget, you're in a foreign country. If you're trying to run to the pharmacist and go, hey, me don't feel good. I got it, and I got out the back end, you know, I need something. Yeah, it's better to get it from your prescribed doctor. Your doctor will see it, that you applied for it. He knows you had an appointment at the disease prevention office. what you're having. They have the computer with you as a patient, as far as being a VA vet. They'll tell you if it's going to counteract with some other medicine you might be currently taking. It's really safe to get it from the VA. Or if you don't have VA benefits, you got Blue Cross Blue Shield. You can ask your doctor to hook you up with some too. It might cost you a copay and 40, $50. So what? There's nothing like protecting yourself. You got to be proactive in these foreign countries. That's all I can tell you. I've been coming to these countries all over: Malaysia, Singapore. Two or three times to Thailand. 11 trips to the Philippines, all over this country. There's 7,641 islands. I've been to about maybe 16, 17 of them, maybe more. But one thing I obtain is a knowledge of these places: the good, the bad, the evil. Getting sick in your gut is the evil. Girlfriend doesn't see eye to eye with you and she breaks up. Hey, take a couple weeks, relaxation, and look for another one. When you start getting sick, not good. The fever is so bad that you don't know where you leave your wallet sometimes. You're totally broken down. You're really in a bad way, it's not good. Driving over here, I have had it's on my third Filipino license. Got my first one when it was a 3-year license, then it went to a 5-year license, and now I just recently, last year, I think about a year and a half ago, I got my 10-year license. They made me take a test, a written test, and I got to tell you, it was pretty difficult. It wasn't that long or, overwhelming, but you have to think, you have to study a little bit, If you don't pass it, you don't get your renewal on your license, or you don't get your initial license. If you're coming over here and you're going to stay any good length of time, more than 90 days, you probably want to apply for your license. They'll honor your American license. If you have motorcycle and car, they'll give you, both ratings on your Filipino license. But you have to take the exam now. I saw a couple expats not pass it. They were old guys. They've been here for he was yelling and ranting about, I've been here 20 years. He was a big old boy, maybe 70 years old. He didn't like it that they didn't renew his license. He was really mad. Couldn't pass the test, So, driving here, it's very, very challenging. I'm 65 myself, and I'm not a, 21-year-old super, what's that word they use there? My agility, my eyes, my focus, my reaction time, I'm sure it's slowed down over the last, several decades, right? I mean, we're put on this earth to be born and then grow old, grow up and grow old, not revert back to youth, So, I mean, I'm pretty, my eyes are good, and I'm pretty, the coordination's still pretty good, so I'm able to drive around no problem. Would I drive my nice van or my nice new scooter in Manila, Metro Manila, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon when the kids get out of school, between 4 and 7? No. I'd rather pay a guy, Grab, like an Uber, and have him drive me around 5 or 6 blocks for $4, for safety. But if you're in a non-tourist attracted area, like Omak or Roblon or St. Augustina, these are islands that are there's no real activity as far as tourism, You see the real Philippines, you see the happy people, they might have a McDonald's in some of them, they might have a Jollibee. As far as the malls, they won't really have a big four-tier high super mall like in Manila and in Seaside Manila, Mall of Asia. They're not going to have something like that. They're going to have a mall. It's going to be a 2-story mall maybe. You're in and out of there in about a half an hour. buy a few things. But yeah, that driving, man, you gotta be really into it, man. Somehow I just got into it. It took about 3 days. I just got into that flow. But you're always watching. You can't be like in America driving with the steering wheel. What's up, brother? And looking at your partner, the passenger, for like a good like 2 or 3, 4 seconds, and then look forward and there's nothing ahead for a block or so. So you just keep talking to your buddy. That doesn't happen here, man. You can't do that, man. You gotta be vigilant of every movement. As long as you're moving forward, you gotta look at those mirrors. You're scanning left, right, every 2 seconds, left, right, left, right. Especially what's happening in the rear of you. You think, oh, as long as I keep a good distance in front of me, I'm good. These guys come out of nowhere. I've seen two scooters left and right of me come by and did like a scissors, like a crisscross, right in front of me. I'm talking like 3-4 feet in front of my front wheel. What the hell? Yeah, man. You gotta be ready. Ready. I wouldn't say it's super dangerous away from the metro areas. I'll say it's just challenging. If they can do it, we can do it. You know what I mean? Young or old, we can do it. Just gotta pay attention. No drinking and driving, none of that shit. I'm not really into driving at night too much anymore. That happens when you get, when you're a senior citizen, middle 60s. I don't really care about driving at nighttime. We drove at nighttime yesterday. It was a little bit frustrating. Then when it rains on top of it and your wipers are going and it's dark out, they don't have lighting like in America with all these big street lights. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're driving without your lights on, because there's enough light to see without them. They don't have that here. You gotta put them lights on. But anyways, like I said earlier, and I'm gonna conclude this video. Bring your money. Don't rely on your credit cards, your debit cards. Bring enough. If you're going to be here for 2 weeks to a month, bring enough money for a month. If you can use your cards in between and bring back some of your money, that's okay. But the best scenario is if you're here for 2 weeks, you need about $120 a day. That's the average right now, currently. At least one guy. Want to meet the girlie and bring her over and buy her a breakfast in the morning, or take her out for a couple beers. That's what you're gonna need, about $120, $125 a night. So if you're here for 15 days, or let's say we travel one day here and back, say 13 days, right? You're gonna need about $1,500. Okay? You'll make it by. But a real smart person would bring about $2,000, 2,200, something like that for the 2 weeks. If you're here and you want to stay here for three months, 90 days or something, get the full feel of the Philippines. Yeah, you're gonna need about $2,000 to $2,200 a month, just basic, just to eat, shower, and shave in a little tiny studio or 1-bedroom little Airbnb, what do you call it? Those little apartments that are already furnished and all that. You could probably get away with staying in one of them for that amount a month, about $2,200. If you want to live like Western ways, like we do in the West, like I'm doing now, I have a really nice apartment, everything I have a generator in case we have a blackout. I got a motorcycle and a car. If you want to live like that, you're gonna need about $2,600 to $2,800 a month, pretty much, away from the city limits, okay, and away from the tourist attractions. All right, I'll let you go for now. Hope one of you or two of you or a few of you can get some, have received some good information, some good points from this. If you want to leave me some, what do you call that there? On the comments, you want to leave me a comment or two, have a couple questions or whatever, let me know, okay? I'll try to help you out. Bye for now, and happy holidays to you and everybody and all your family members, okay? Have a blessed holiday season.